perhaps for the business, price is always an obstacle, and obviously the Duet was a more expensive variety of the machine, but it's also less expensive than having to buy two machines. So if I had to replace the old YAG and buy an SLT, it was in fact, it was cost-wise appropriate to get the combination machine, and it was less expensive than buying two. They informed me that a machine like this was available, and as I said, they told me it was available with the SLT, the YAG, and the Argon as options on the machine, and I knew that my YAG laser, although it was working fine, was a very old machine and was looking to probably need replacing shortly, and rather than wait for that to break down, I felt that this machine was a good option, that again in the long run it would cost less to buy this machine than to wait till the other one broke down and then have to replace that also. And as I said, we did have the problem with positioning some patients that really was eliminated virtually with this machine. I found that the SLT is very effective in helping with care of glaucoma patients, and I've had very good results with it. It doesn't work for everybody, but most patients do get a significant decrease in their intraocular pressure with the SLT procedure. So I have been very pleased with that, and in general patients have been pleased with it also. The YAG component is also very easy to use, and patients are very grateful after a YAG capsulotomy because their vision is significantly improved.
Well, I think initially when you look at the cost, that's always the first obstacle, and that's really the main obstacle for this laser or any other laser. But when we analyzed the cost-benefit ratio and looked at how many lasers would maybe we be performing, and and looking at that, we quickly decided that this laser would probably pay for itself pretty quickly, and it did. It really did. With our practice, we have a lot of patients. We do see a lot of glaucoma patients, and so that helps. But I think even if we did half or a quarter of the volume, this laser would still pay for itself in a relatively, quick amount of time.
Well, I think the first thing when we first looked into the SLT is, does it work? And so we did rent actually for a few months, and we found that it worked very well. The second question is, do we have enough patients to treat? And since we've incorporated the treatment a little bit earlier in our treatment process, certainly we found that we had plenty of patients to treat. And also the bottom line to the practice has been tremendous. We've been able to, when patients buy glaucoma drops, they actually pay the drug companies money, and when they have SLT done, they pay our practice the money. So it's helped our practice bottom line as well.
Having the Lumenis SLT trio in our office has clearly impacted the number of procedures we perform. It has approximately doubled the number of procedures that we perform on a monthly basis.
Well, from a practice standpoint, as an ophthalmologist, and that's our standpoint as well, what I do see as a benefit of having an all-in-one unit is, again, this efficiency. We're able to do all of our treatments in the same room and move patients in and out of the room very quickly. I haven't had the problem of having to use multiple lasers, so having patients wait for an argon laser treatment and then next a patient with a laser trabeculoplasty patient. Other than that, I would say that the size makes it convenient because, again, we're not living in a world where we have all the real estate that we could possibly want, and so we have to work efficiently in what we have to. When I first was introduced to the trio, the downside I thought of would be the same concept of buying a high-tech car with everything electronic. If one thing goes wrong, the whole thing goes into the shop and you're out of everything that you could use at the same time. In truth, so far the SLT trio hasn't, and the trio laser I should say, hasn't had that problem. That was a theoretic downside so far, and I haven't had to have that service at all in any respect. Otherwise, I don't have any downsides to the laser.
The obvious that I'm sure many people mention is cost.
It is an all-in-one, so there is a premium cost to a machine that has a convenience factor built into it. But outside of that, like I said before, the theoretic possibility of if one component breaks down, the whole laser is out of commission until it's fixed. But in truth, after the fact, I find neither to have been a viable obstacle. in a world today where there's a lot of demo and refurbished and used lasers that exist that we could get at much cheaper prices, we wanted to make sure that it's worthwhile for us to go with a new premium state-of-the-art and convenient laser having all three in one. So looking at the differences between the cost and benefit ratio, we decided investment is a necessity for us right now. And so we did go ahead with the Lumenis Trio, and not one of us in the practice have regretted it so far. And in fact, it's already paid itself off, but more so, the benefits have been, from a monetary standpoint, building the practice more so than we'd like. So it's a very all-around positive aspect.
When we bought the Trio laser, I found out that the reimbursement on the SLT is basically paid for the entire laser.